Good evening and welcome to Live from the Imperial Center. I'm Brooke Edwards and I'm the Artistic and Managing Director of the theater here at the Imperial Center. And tonight we have the second installment of our third annual Local Playwrights Staged Reading Series. And tonight we will begin with a new one act by Stephen Moen, and it is called Know Me. And if you will, your name and who you're playing.
My name is Chloe Chappelle. I'm playing Sarah.
I'm Jake Zachary, and I'm playing Kent.
Know Me by Stephen Moen. Lights up on two tables in a restaurant. At one table, Sarah is chatting on her cell phone to a friend. Seated at the next table is Kent, who wears sunglasses while staring in her direction. Sarah glances at him nervously while talking.
I know, right? I told Michael that girl was a tramp. Now he knows it for himself. Well, you know me. I can read people like books. You remember Jordan, right? I knew he was a kleptomaniac from the first moment I met him. And now, at least 12 stores in the area know too. Oh my God, Rach. This creepy dude has seriously been staring at me the whole time I've been sitting here. No, he must be under the impression that I can't tell because he's wearing sunglasses. No. You know what? I'm sick of this crap. Why should women have to put up with men looking, no, gawking at us all the time? Why can't I sit here and enjoy my coffee in peace without getting eyed by every creeper within a mile radius? I'll call you back, Rach. I'm going to teach this douche a lesson.
Sarah hangs up phone, gathers her things, and marches over to Kent's table, startling the man as she plops her purse on his table.
Like what you see, creep?
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. I've seen you staring at me for the past 10 minutes. So here you go. Stare away.
I wasn't staring at you.
Oh my God. I cannot believe you were just going to sit there and lie to my face about you being a creep. And by the way, my face is up here.
Look, I'm sure you're a lovely person, but
You're darn right I am. You know what? I'm going to make you see that right now. If you're going to stare and deny it, you're going to at least know who I am.
Reaching out a hand.
I'm Sarah.
Kent.
Well, that's rather rude of you, Kent. You can stare all day, but can't have the courtesy to shake my hand, Kent? Are you a look but don't touch kind of guy, Kent? Are you some kind of voyeur, Kent?
What? No, I just didn't notice. I'm Kent.
That's more like it, Kent. Almost a proper gentleman. So, Kent, where'd he come from? It's obviously a place wary of handshakes.
Ohio, the Cleveland area.
How exciting.
And you? Obviously, it's a place free from the worries of barging in on people.
I don't count it as barging when it included me. NYC, born and raised, baby.
Congratulations.
So, did you go to college or did you stay on the farm your whole life?
Farm?
Yeah, farm. Ohio is farm country, right?
There are farms, yes. There are farms in New York, too. You know that, right? Having farms doesn't make the whole state one big farm.
Everything outside this city is a farm to me.
Have you ever left this city?
Why would I ever need or want to?
Well, there's a lot of the world out there, that's all. It seems like a waste to confine yourself to just here. Columbia, by the way. I went to college at Columbia.
Oh, wow. For what?
Journalism.
That's so cool. I thought about doing something like that before I went into science. I figured it'd be better to have more consistent work for myself. What kind do you do? Photo? Video?
No, that would be a terrible idea for me. I guess I was pretty vague on the answer. I studied a lot of English at Columbia and became one of those everyday freelance writing kind of journalists.
Interesting. Look at us, peeling away the layers behind the shades. So, Mr. Hotshot Reporter, have you covered anything exciting recently? Do you get yourself into trouble while researching a story and Superman comes to your rescue?
If I ever bump into him, you'll be the first to know.
I expect nothing less. So?
Oh, right. Exciting stories. Well, I covered the planetarium's 25th gala, the other week. Does that count?
What? No way! I wanted to go to that so bad, but I couldn't get a ticket. One would think they'd let a fellow science scholar into their little shindig before some writer who doesn't know anything about that stuff. Ugh, no offense, of course.
Of course not. Well, I asked about being able to do it well in advance. I may not be able to travel to see the stars, but I've always been fascinated by the idea.
Well, first off, you wouldn't want to travel to a star because you'd be incinerated. Besides, you never get there anyway. The closest one is Proxima Centauri, and that's still over 4.24 light years away. You'd be dead long before you were even close.
Besides the exact distance, I was aware of all of those things. I may not be nearly as scholarly as you clearly are, but even my novice mind can use phrases like visit the stars in a figurative way.
There you go, being rather rude again. I was just making conversation and you try to insult my intelligence. Touchy, touchy. What, still sore about an astronaut dream that never came true?
That and so many others.
How very deep and morbid of you, Mr. English. Let's change the subject, shall we? What kind of music do you listen to? You look like a fan of country.
I look like a fan of country music. Or I probably am because I'm from Ohio. No, I am not a fan of country music. I find it dull and it's all just sounds the same to me. A nasally person whining about how their lover left them or how they destroyed their cheating lover's property or how somebody died or how they loved the United States more than anybody ever could. I don't see a point in it.
Agreed. See, we can agree on something.
I'll write it up and get it in the paper first thing tomorrow morning.
Hardy har har. You're hilarious. So, what music do you listen to, funny man?
A lot of classical music, actually. Orchestral soundtracks are also great. There's nothing like sitting back and listening to any number of songs, imagining flying or dancing or singing along with it in front of thousands of people like in an opera or musical.
Opera and musicals? You listen to operas and musicals?
Well, sure. It's like a story you don't even need to see to understand. The performers have the nerve and talent to go up in front of a crowd of any number of total strangers to bare their soul through beautiful melodies anywhere on the spectrum of emotion. One track can be the joy of being in a new place with your best friend that accepts you for who you are, and the next can be the same character belting out a raging, inconsolable sorrow of what it is to believe in death of a loved one. All of this is being done, of course, without auto-tune or sounding like every other artist in the genre.
Wow. I did not expect such an in-depth response from you.
Well, what did you expect?
Honestly, I just thought you were kidding when you first brought them up.
I don't joke about things I'm passionate about.
Clearly.
So, how about you, Miss Sarah? What music graces your ears?
The best description would be top 40 pop, I guess. Usually if it's popular on the radio, I'm a fan. There's no correlation, though.
I guess you're just a blend into the crowd, including music interests. That's fair.
It's not like that. I like the songs before they are popular and the radio overplays them.
Before they became popular, eh? I believe the term is hipster, and that fits pretty well.
Do I dress like a hipster?
I honestly wouldn't know since...
I figured. So you're one of those people who throw around phrases that they don't even fully understand. I see. You should think about these types of things before you open your mouth. Some people don't like being labeled as something they aren't.
Oh, like a guy being called a creep?
I had a pretty strong evidence to call you that if you remember. You were gawking across the cafe the whole time I was sitting there.
I would try to tell you I'm not staring at you.
Agree to disagree, I guess. News subject. Did you see the Yankees game this week? It was quite a nail-biter.
I caught it on the radio.
That was one of the biggest games of the season, and you caught it on the radio? Please tell me you were traveling cross-country and were unable to find a television.
Not at all. I was sitting in my apartment the whole time, though I suppose it would be hard to find a TV since I don't have one. Oh, radio gives the game more emotion anyway, since someone is excitedly telling you about something they're passionate about. Someone hits the ball and the announcer seems like he's having a heart attack, which makes your excitement peak. I remember one time I was flipping through the stations and I found the broadcast for a team I couldn't care less about. Still, I was bored, so I stayed on to hear the end of the game. It was a tie game with a game-winning runner on second. When the batter sent a line drive towards right field, the outfielder got the ball and launched it like a cannon towards home, where the runner was already headed. There was so much tension in the announcer's voice as he described the runner, a first-year rookie player, was caught between the catcher and third base. The catcher got closer and closer for what felt like an hour when the wind took the ball at just the right moment, making the catcher lose his grip, as if all the excitement the rookie felt was channeled through the announcer as he screamed into the microphone about the catcher's folly. The rookie sprinted home. The catcher was on his heels. No one had time to tell him that he had made it before his teammates had hoisted him into the air. Meanwhile, the announcer, half hoarse, half in tears, is telling of this historic moment with these players whom he himself has never even met. And just what they have achieved, reaching such great heights. Only when things had calmed down did I realize I had been standing and yelling at the radio throughout the whole ordeal. I couldn't tell you the name of the rookie now, but my whole life, but that whole feeling at the moment was as if I had known him my whole life, with how ecstatic I was for him, and how could anybody be swept up by anything like that?
You don't have a TV?
You are an exceptional listener. Has anyone ever told you that?
You're a male. Like you listen any better.
Actually, it's one of those few things I do well.
Oh, yes. I'm sure it's right up there with your ability to secretly check out girls outside of cafes.
I wasn't!
No, do not try to tell me how you weren't looking, nay, stalking me from across the way. All of you men are the same. You feel like you're God's gift to womankind. You think we should be honored that you have taken notice of us lesser beings. You act like we beg you for it. Oh no, please, men of the earth, never allow us women to enjoy a day out to the beach or to a bar without undressing us with your eyes. We all totally love that. God forbid you ever get to know us besides just looking and dreaming up whatever fantasies pop into your sex-crazed brains. Are you even listening to me right now?
More than I ever could have wanted to.
Exactly, Prince Charming. You didn't want to listen to me or get to know me before judging me. You just stare and want the silent woman to be pretty for you. Then, when she calls you out on it, you have the gall to lie to her face. No, I won't allow it. I saw you. The old guy over there saw you. The waitress saw you. Everyone saw you. And did you think you could get away with such an obvious thing? Only a blind person would have missed it.
Sarah! You've solved it! That must be how I missed the fact that I've been doing such a heinous thing.
Beat. Kent reaches to the ground and lifts his white cane. He starts to gather his things and get his wallet out.
Well, this was certainly an experience I'll remember. Thank you very much. I can definitely see why you want people to get to know you so bad. You're right. It'd be terrible to make a snap judgment on you before knowing you.
He drops money on the table.
Have a nice day.
He exits. Lights fade on a dumbstruck Sarah. The end. And welcome back. And our next new play is Perfect Birch by Andrew Michael Neiman. And I would like to put the disclaimer out there that there are some adult themes as well as some language in this piece. And if you will please give us your name and your character.
Alan Pittman, I am the buyer.
Caitlin Rita, she.
Patrick Dodge, and I am the man.
All right. And Perfect Birch, a brief Pygmalion play by Andrew Michael Neiman for John Davis. The time is 2018, 2017, or thereabouts. The place is a woodworker's stunningly beautiful workshop. A man, early to mid-30s, in the display room of his own workshop. Small, lovely pieces of furniture and craft line and adorn the walls. A table center right, an exit upstage left. The table is pinkish white, virgin birch, unpainted, unvarnished, the craftsmanship extraordinary, truly a work of art. The man is staring at the table, anguished, possessed, enthralled.
I don't think you understand. I think that's the problem. I think you're incredibly selfish. That's what I think. I made you. You were nothing. You might have been destined for a wood chipper, a campfire, some family's hearth. But then I rescued you. I saved you from what might have been a slow and painful process of petrification, assuming you hadn't already been repurposed for firewood. Either way, you're here now. You're beautiful. You're fully formed. I saw you fully formed before I went to work on you. Because I had a vision, and you were it. And now look at you, smooth. You were so rough, and now so smooth. The bark, the rotting bark that encompassed your perfection. Naked wood lurking beneath the surface. You, perfection. Not perfection, but the potential for perfection. Now long gone. That crinkled, dilapidated skin now so smooth and pink white as a baby's bottom. You're my baby. You're so beautiful, so pure, the best I've ever made. And yet, you don't give a damn about me. You don't care how much attention to detail I paid in creating you. Nope. You don't care that I invested years of my life into making certain you were crafted into a gorgeous piece of... You are now devoid entirely of imperfection, save for your absolutely maddening narcissism. When I'm lonely, you gaze at me with pity, but no, not love, never, bitch. Sorry, birch, I meant birch, beautiful white birch. I caress you with so much care, so gently. Please, all you give me in return are hardened stares. How do you think that makes me feel? I'm so very tempted to finish you. I mean, you're finished, of course. Of course you're finished, meaning complete, but I've yet to finish you. Given you the expected protective gloss, the right kind of sealant, but I refuse to protect you. You're perfect the way you are. And besides, why should it be my responsibility to protect you? You don't give a fig about what happens to me. You don't care how much time, money, and that's right, love, I sunk into making you into the stunning piece of perfection you are today. Okay. Just answer me this. Answer one question and I'll leave you alone. I'll let you be. I'll let you be you, and I'll just be me, I guess, without all this self-pity and resentment bleeding out onto you. Into you? Onto you. What did you think was going to happen when I was through with you? What did you think was going to happen after I'd finally added the finishing touches, carved the super detailed, labor-intensive molding around your circumference, stepped back and breathed a sigh of relief, put my tools down, my sanding plane, and then inhaled you deeply, knowing that as you continue to pulse inside of me, the sight of your angles, your heady, new wood smell, your smooth, fleshy, top-heavy. What was your plan? Your exit strategy, your anticipated mechanism for coping with this sudden independence. That's all I want to know. What did you expect life would be like? What did you expect life without me would be like? Cold shoulder, huh? Not gonna answer me. So fucking haughty, prima donna bitch. Yes, I meant to say...
The phone rings. A prospective buyer. The man lets it ring for a bit before answering, his eyes still transfixed, fiendishly on the table. Finally, he answers.
Yes. Yes, I am still willing to... Yes, the table is still for sale. No, I decided not to finish it. No. It's complete. I just decided not to put a finish on the table. It doesn't need it. It doesn't belong. And I appreciate that very much. Yet, no, it's not about the money. It's about what the table does or doesn't want. Well, now, sir, I would beg to differ. I would have to disagree with you on that because, yes, a table does have both wants and needs. Not many. Her needs are few. But nonetheless, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to please alter your tone. I don't want to be bullied, and I won't be bribed either into doing something to this table that, in my humble estimation, would mar her in any way. Yes, it. I'm sorry. I said her, I meant it. Yes, you're absolutely right. A piece of furniture, not a person. And most certainly not a woman. Bitch. All the same, sir, I will not mar my creation, this particular piece with wood stain and sealer. I'm sorry, but that's all there is to it. If there are any other pieces that you'd like to consider, oh, I assure you, I'm not the biggest prima donna you've ever had to deal with in your life. Actually, sir, a condition of the sale is that you sign a contract binding you to accept the item as is, with a litany of penalties to be exacted should you alter it in any way post-purchase. Well, because I'm an artist, Mr. Johnston, and because my creations matter to me, and because relationship matters to me, and because in a world where people are increasingly disrespecting of the express wishes of a work of arts creator, respect still very much matters to me. Intention matters to me, and while I really don't want to lean into the show of my legal powers in order to intimidate you, I have no desire to further escalate this predicament. I will not be mocked, or rather my express wishes will not be scorned. If you don't like the terms of our agreement, you can always head over to IKEA. I'm sorry. That sounded more condescending than I intended to, Mr. Johnston. This piece is just very dear to me, and I'm determined to protect its integrity as functional craft at all costs. So, if you can respect this, we can do business. Otherwise, the deal's off the table, so to speak. Pun intended. Hello? Mr. Johnston? Fuck. See what you made me do? Do you see what you made me do? You're a heartbreaker, a mind bender, a bank account buster. I'm down to my last penny. I've taken out every loan imaginable. I've refinanced 8 times. There's no equity left in this place. Sure, there's been others. I can't hang all my losses on you. Yes, there's been others. But there's never been no one more special than you are to me. Do I want to part with you? No, of course not. Do I need to pawn you off onto someone willing to pay me what you're worth? I shouldn't have said pawn off. That was crass. That was wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So much stress. My bad, totally. All on me, mostly. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I wear myself out to the bone, frayed nerves, bereft, spiritually depleted. Why do I do this when it's a loss either way? Every way, I should say. I'm running a business. Of course it's about money. It has to be. And yet, it's not. It's not about the money. It should be, but it isn't. It never is. If I had all the money in the world, would I let you go? I wouldn't. I would not. What I would do is build you a better home, and I'd make you a big brother out of oak. Him I would finish. Him I would varnish. He I would make look the part. But you I would ensure continue to feel exactly right. Unchanged, as you are now. If money were no object, I would knock down these walls and build a workshop from here to Waverly. Would that make you happy? Something spacious and clean, populated with so many friends and ever-growing family? And I would never send you away. No matter how much or little you love me in return, my love would be unconditional, because I could afford to be more generous. There'd be no need to put up so many walls inside my heart as I do now. No walls, or walls so far from the center they become little more than details, not the restraints they've long since become. I think maybe you're it. I think you may be the last of my creations. I think that's maybe why I've put so much pressure on this, my last great love. They say where there's a will, there's a way, that money and time and space and resources are no obstacle in the face of unquenchable desire and drive. So, which is it? What am I running short on? Time and money? Wood and sandpaper? Love and will? Desire and drive? Wait, don't answer me. I'm terrified of what the answer will be.
She appears out of nowhere.
I know answer.
Ah! You scared the living shit out of me.
Living shit?
I beg your pardon, Matt, but very sorry. How did you, I thought I locked the door. I'm sure I locked the door.
She says nothing.
I must have forgotten to lock the door. End of a long day. I thought we're closed now, but please, forgive me,
She goes to the table, gazing at it lovingly, then spreads herself across the length of it, loving it fully, her eyes closed.
Could you, miss?
Perfection.
Well, thank you, but I would prefer you not to...
She loves touch.
I think she does.
She loves love.
Yes, I think she does.
She is alive, yes? Living and alive?
Yes, I would, both of those. And, many Buddhists might concur that this table is in fact a living thing. But how did you...
I love she.
You love her.
Yes, very much. I want she.
She's not for sale.
I think she is.
She was. I've changed my mind. She is no longer for sale. The table is no longer for sale.
Oh, but I think she is. She is. Oh, yes, she is.
Well, you see, the way it works in my shop is that I decide what is and isn't for sale. And I have decided that the table, which I must ask you to please stop fondling, is no longer for sale. I suppose you must have seen the online photo. Was that your first time visiting our website? Because if so, I have a range of other...
I do not see online photo. I do not ever visit the site of your web. This is first visit. This is first sight, and I love. Do you? Do you love?
Oh, yes. I do. Very much. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I'm sorry.
No more leaves. But she is very beautiful.
Very beautiful. But I'm afraid I can't let you take her away.
Take her away?
I can't allow you to purchase the table to buy her.
Buy her? Why'd I buy her?
I said she wasn't for sale. The table wasn't for sale. You said...
She is for sale.
Right, she's not. But if she were, then someone could theoretically buy her from me.
You think you are she's owner?
Well, I am her creator.
You found she.
I made her.
You changed she.
I perfected her. Where are you from? I mean, no offense, but your direct object pronouns are completely out of whack.
I love she.
She is back to caressing the table, laying her head on it.
So glad you approve. Look,
I sell she. No one buy she.
Her. her. It's her. I mean, it's it, really, but can you just, it's weirding me out a little bit, you saying she instead of her. You don't have an accent, so if I'm offending your nationality by, you have no accent, so I don't see why you're doing that, the she instead of the her thing.
I sell her. No one buy her.
No, I sell her.
I like she. I no like her. She no thing, she no it, she, a she. Yes, she, a she.
Yeah, well, this has been fun, truly, but now...
I is she, and she is me. I love she. She is me. I love she.
Wait, what?
I sell she. She is me. No one buy she. I sell she. I know buy she. I sell she. She is me. You find me. You love me. You change me. I still me. But now I she too. And I love she.
So then, that would mean that you would be the...
Spirit of tree.
He is stunned. Eventually, she goes to him and kisses him.
I love she, and I love me. You make she from me.
Now more stunned.
You no love you. Why you no love you?
I love you. I'm dreaming. This is a dream. It must be. And I'm never waking up.
He returns to kissing her, but she stops him.
Why you no love you?
It's hard to.
She returns to the table, sprawls out on it.
I love she.
Yeah. Me too. I think I'm gonna, I think I'll go and lock the door. Make sure that the door's locked. I mean, in case this goes in a direction it looks like it might.
Lock the door.
He bolts off stage. She makes love to the table. We hear man fumble with the door. We hear knocking. Off stage.
Damn it! Damn it! No, I'm sorry, sir. I was just locking up. I was just...
You just unlocked the door.
No, I thought it was...
You weren't unlocking the door for me.
No, I thought... No.
May I come in? May I see the piece? I just called.
Oh, it's you. You're the one who just... You hung up on me.
I did not hang up on you. I thought you'd hung up on me until I realized I'd entered into a dead zone. I've been saying I was committed to buying the piece, no matter the terms, no matter the expense. May I come in? May I see the piece?
This table is no longer for sale, sir. Good night.
Wait. You received a better offer.
A more suitable home, yes. A better offer.
But it's still here. It has to be. We spoke. I was on my way. I was so close when I called you. Please, whatever offer you've received, I'll double it. And I'll sign the terms of agreement. I'll consent to your wishes that the table remain as is. Please, at least let me see it.
Her.
Fine. Yes.
She.
She.
She is me.
Please let me see this piece.
I love she. She I sell. Yes, if he loves she, then I sell she.
Very well. You may see the piece. Just give me a minute. I'll return. Just a minute.
Man enters.
I don't know what to do. I have a buyer.
I hear he.
I want to send him away.
No, send him away.
But something tells me he's supposed to be here. I don't want him here. I want you. I want to be with you alone, but...
He no sees me. You see me. You create she from me. You see me.
He won't be able to see you.
You see me.
But you'll stay, yes? You won't leave? You won't abandon me when I need you. You'll stay with me.
I stay with she. I am spirit of tree. You make she from me.
Yeah, I got it. But you won't, if I sell her.
I sell her. I sell she.
But then you'll leave too.
Leave too.
I'm sorry, sir. Were you speaking to me?
No, just had to take a quick call.
Not another buyer, I hope. I'm sorry,
No, it's okay. Please, come in.
Buyer enters. Silence. The buyer takes in the workshop, then the table from a distance, admiring its beauty.
Oh, he loves she.
I love you.
I beg your pardon.
I love that you love the table. I can't tell you, I can tell that I can see that you love it, that it makes you happy. That's very important to me.
Oh, I do love it.
Yes, I know.
Never taking his eyes off the table, perhaps examining and touching it throughout the following.
And I'm prepared to pay up to 3 times the originally posted price. A sign of my affection for the table, for my deep appreciation of your fine craftsmanship and your devotion to the art of woodworking.
Thank you. Sir, I'm sorry to pry, but may I ask how you found me? Who turned you on to my work?
Vera.
Vera? Vera Myers?
Correct.
She's my biggest fan, my most regular patron, or rather, she was my most reliable patron until she moved to Hawaii.
Vera hates the cold.
Is that why she moved? She told me she wanted to get as much landmass between her and her ex-husband as possible. You're her ex-husband. I'm very sorry.
Things happen.
How have we never met before? Vera kept me in business. Vera got me, loved my work. Vera must have purchased 8 or 10 pieces for her home, your home.
Yes, and my money. I travel a lot for business. I love your work. I'm sorry I've never been in here before. I love your work. I'm sorry I suggested you alter the table to meet my needs. I'm used to getting my way. I keep trying to get used to not always having my way. Vera,
A good woman.
a duplicitous adulteress. Sorry.
Buyer returns his attention to the table. She comes over to the man and whispers in his ear. Man looks at she pointedly, then shakes his head no. She puts her shoulder sadly on the man's head. Buyer gently caresses the top of the table.
I want to do something for you. I want to buy this place.
Uh-huh.
He loves you.
I don't...
Hear me out. You should have a larger space than this. The work you do, the attention to detail.
Too much attention to detail. It takes me a very long time to complete a piece. I find the perfect wood.
I know. It shows.
The wood talks to me, beckons me, whispers in my ear.
She whispers in his ear again. He softly says to her.
No.
She is sad and melts away to the periphery.
But I get distracted. I start on one piece, but then become interested in another, and then another, and I'll circle back to a given work in progress, because it's not as though I've forgotten those others, unfinished pieces. I've just gotten more interested in for the time being.
Oh, how I would love to forget Vera.
Would you?
No, not really. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. I hate her. Because she took the best of me with her when she went away. So no, I don't want to forget her. I want to find a way to get back to the me who only appeared when she was with me. And I think you can make that happen.
Me?
He loves you.
If I buy this place.
Yeah, not for sale.
Okay, then Whatever. It stays in your name. I'm not trying to steal your shop from you, Mr. Michelson. I'm trying to keep you in business.
Who said I was going out of business? What did your wife, your ex-wife, tell you?
You need employees, Mr. Michelson. You need apprentices in whom you can confide, the next generation of woodworkers worthy of learning your trade.
I work alone.
Worker bees who might realize your vision.
I'm an artist, a solo artist.
We're the same, Mr. Michelson, you and I.
And you still haven't told me to what extent you knew that I was struggling, how you knew that I might be running the risk of going out of business.
Your work populates my home. Everywhere I turn, everywhere I sit, I see and feel the extraordinary work of the astonishingly gifted Daniel Michelson.
He loves you.
I sit in that rocker, that gorgeous piece of sculpture, a functional sculpture, like sitting on the ground but still being held gently by some giant pumpkin carved to perfection.
Perfection.
But how did you know that I was in financial duress?
Because she told me.
Vera did, of course. But what exactly did she...
No, me.
What?
I just knew. It was like what you said, a whisper in the ear.
You can see her?
See who? The table?
No, her.
He hears me. When I whisper in the ear, he hears me. You see me. You hear me.
I'm sorry, Daniel. I don't understand what you... I see that I've upset you. I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention. Our son, Vera, and my son, he was an artist, a promising artist. Pencil sketches, charcoal drawings, paintings using acrylics, oils, watercolor. He was a lovely artist. But I put a tremendous amount of pressure on him to come to work for me. I wanted personally to mentor our son, to groom him to take over the business one day. He was so smart.
Was?
So smart and so talented. And I could have funded any and all of his artistic ventures, but I didn't want to spoil him. I wanted him to struggle, not meaninglessly. I wanted him to grow and stretch like I did, to become the man I thought he had the potential to become. Within the company, surrounded by a team of highly competent, highly capable men and women, I wanted him to have peers and mentors, to see that there was more in him than fanciful drawings and paintings. I killed him. I killed my son every day for years because I wanted him to be more like me and less like himself. I didn't value him for who he was. I told myself I was valuing in him all those qualities he himself was failing to value in himself or even acknowledge, but I was trying to create him in my own image, and I failed him in doing so. And I pushed Vera away in doing so. And even today on the phone, when I was insisting on putting a varnish on this beautiful, pristine table in order to protect the table, to enhance it, I realized that I still haven't learned my goddamn lesson. I'm still trying to control things, people, to get something out of them, instead of just letting them be what they are.
She slowly goes up to the buyer and whispers in his ear.
But then I suppose you're in the business of making things more perfect than they were to begin with.
I don't know if that's true.
Yes, true. And also not true.
Let me help you out, Daniel. Let me make your dreams come true. Let me buy you all the time and space you need to create what you create. But
Here comes the but.
we can't spend the next 20 years, either of us, trying to control everything. Yes, control is vital. A great leader must be in control, but A great leader also delegates. A great leader shares even as he expands his vision. If I help you expand this place, all the way down to, what street is that down there? Waverly?
You swear you didn't have this place bugged?
If I provide you with all the necessary materials,
Yes, and also love.
if I back this venture, you're going to have to make space for others to come in here and make things happen.
I'm not your son. You don't get to just waltz in here off the street and use me as some kind of a prop in your redemption narrative.
He loves you.
You don't know me.
He loves you.
You don't see what I see.
He loves you.
You don't know what I go through in order to realize my visions. So please, do us all a favor. Take a big step back and
Why you no love you?
I give everything for love. I give it all. I turn myself inside out in order to make beauty, to make something absolutely perfect, balanced, harmonious, even if it throws me completely off balance in the process, and it's worth it. Most of the time, it's hard, these labors of love, these laborious, but it's worth it. My time and investment are worth it. My love. Do you see? Can you see me in the work? Do you see me? I'm in there. All of me is in there, and
He breaks down in tears.
Now you love you.
it's so hard.
I know.
So hard.
I give everything.
I know, son.
Nobody sees.
I see.
I see too. I love.
I just want
Tell me what you want.
Love.
Anything?
to be able to mentor your son, the artist, to give and give and give, and if I could share with him what I know.
Yes.
If your son were still alive, I would.
Wait, if my son were still alive, he is alive.
He is?
I mean, his mother Vera tells me as much. As deceitful as she's been, I don't think she'd ever... Yes, he's still alive and well. He just won't speak to me. I killed his love for me. And now he hates me. And I'm not certain where he is. Vera knows.
So there's still time. There's still hope.
Not for my son and I. No,
We can find him. You can find him and fund him just as you were proposing to back me.
Oh, Daniel, don't you think I've offered? No, it's too late. Any financial assistance I offer now, he'll think of as a bribe. I failed to nurture and support him when I had the chance. He's his own man now. He won't take my money, but I'm hoping you will.
But I'll have to compromise my vision.
No, but you will have to expand it, to share it. You will have to do this, yes. And I will have to cede control as much as you. We would be partners, not equal partners. I will defer to your artistry. You will defer, I hope you'll defer, to my business sense. On paper, you remain the sole proprietor. But however much I invest in the growth of your business, I intend to break even. I'm not a donor, I'm a backer. A generous backer who wants only to recoup his principal. Imagine me as a not-for-profit organization, fiscally responsible, but not a profiteer. Does that help? You're too accomplished for me to treat you as a charity case.
I don't know what to say.
Say that you'll consider it.
I'll consider it.
In the meantime, this table,
She's yours if she's willing to leave with you.
She goes up to man, kisses him gently, a goodbye.
I sell she to he.
She goes up to Buyer and says softly into his ear,
I love.
and then turning back to man,
You love now. You love you now. I love you now because you love you now.
She takes man's hand. She takes Byer's hand, who upon being touched notices she for the first time, awestruck. She walks backwards towards the table, holding both of their hands. She sits on the table and slowly leans backwards as the lights fade to black. A few moments later, the lights come up. The man is alone, asleep on the table. He awakens. As soon as he realizes he's alone, he sits up sharply, takes in the space, and panics. He's been dreaming.
No. No, no, no!
He begins to wail in pain for his loss. Then he very suddenly stops crying and glances at the large mirror hanging on the wall stage right. He goes to it, gazing at his image. Then, very slowly, he leans into the mirror and kisses his image. A shudder goes through him, and he releases something like a sob. He slowly backs away from his image, keeping his eyes locked on the mirror, and smiles lovingly. Slow fade to black. End of play. Welcome back, and our last play of the evening is entitled Enabler by Jim Lee. And if you would please.
Yes. I'm Caitlin Rita, and I will be reading Nurse.
I'm Judy Mesco. I'll be reading Mother.
I'm Ben Griffith, and I'll be reading Jimmy.
Enabler by Jim Lee. The setting is a single-occupancy hospital room for recovering surgery patients. Mother's eyes are closed, and she is lying still in the light from above the room's sink, but otherwise the half-light is all there is. The portable table is over her lap, and a visitor's recliner is next to the bed. The door opens a fraction, and Jimmy, a normal college student carrying a school backpack, sticks his head in the door and looks at Mother lying motionless. He is about to leave when Mother calls out.
Jimmy?
Jimmy enters fully, but he stays at the door.
Yeah, Mom, what do you need?
Hurts.
I know, Mom. I checked with the nurses on the way back in. You're due for more meds in about half an hour.
And I'm cold.
You're in a hospital. It's always cold.
Mother shifts her bottom a bit to one side under the pile of sheets and blankets draped over her. Jimmy puts his bag down next to the visitor's recliner and shifts her blankets to fully cover her legs.
Did you see your father on the way out? Or did he make for the door as soon as I dropped off this afternoon?
I waved him across the parking lot as he was leaving. Cut him some slack. The other kids are still at home, and he's got to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, right. That bastard. My mother came up to stay with the kids, and you know that. And why can't he take time from work? He won't look at me, you know. He stands at the window when he's here. He has to do his duty or your grandmother would kill him. But he hasn't been a husband to me since we found out how bad this all was.
Mom, he feels awful. We all do. We know you complained about being sick, but face it, Mom, you always complained. If you were so bad off, why didn't you just go to the doctor yourself?
So that's how you sleep at night? It's all my fault? If we had caught this earlier, oh, Jesus. What have they done?
Mother clutches her arms across her breast.
Hey, the supper they left for you is still here if you want it.
It must be cold by now.
It was cold to begin with. Pudding. Jello with diced peaches in it. Iced tea. Unsweetened.
Mother tries to push herself up to the slightly elevated head of the bed.
Can you raise this thing up? I'm not on the slab yet.
Jimmy fumbles in the half-light for the bed control, finds it, and after 2 false starts, presses the correct arrow for lifting her head.
Let me have some of that pudding.
Jimmy, happy for something to do, takes the foil top off the container and stirs it up.
Here you go, Mom. Hey, what did they say to get me to eat when I was a kid? Was the spoon a choo-choo or an airplane?
Jimmy puts a spoonful in her mouth, but Mother spits the goo back at the spoon and pushes his arm away. The pudding sloshes onto the table surface.
Mom, look at this mess.
I can't eat that. Do they expect me to starve?
Jimmy cleans up the portable table with a washcloth.
I don't know, Mom. I just don't know.
Jimmy dabs at her chin with the washcloth, but Mother twists her face away.
What time is it?
About 7:30.
I don't suppose you stopped by the deli and got me a sandwich like I asked you to. Pastrami and cheese, rye bread, sliced thick, with the good mustard, lean pastrami. I told you before you left this morning.
Mom, you're on a soft diet. Your system can't handle that.
And a Heineken. I asked for a Heineken.
Mom,
Well, did you get it?
you didn't say what kind of cheese, so I got provolone.
Good choice. Swiss fights with the pastrami, except on a Reuben.
Jimmy pulls a paper sack from his school backpack and extracts a sandwich wrapped in white paper. He hands half of it in the paper to Mother, who tears at it like a lioness, grunting as she eats.
Did you get the Heine?
Jimmy pulls a second bag out.
I got two. They didn't want me to leave with them, but I explained it was for the hospital, and they let me go.
Jimmy opens one with a Swiss Army knife and puts it on the portable table. He hides the second beer next to the visitor's recliner and crumples the bag. Mother grabs the bottle off the table and starts to guzzle it, but the foam causes her to choke a bit.
Take it easy, Mom. Just sit.
Enter Nurse, who flips on the overhead lights and sniffs the air before seeing the sandwich and beer on the portable table.
Where did this come from? Mrs. Lee, you cannot have this. Your system is not ready for solids.
I can't eat this stuff you're trying to feed me. And my son was kind enough to get me some real food. If that's a problem for a dying woman to have something decent to eat, then I just need to get out of here.
Now, Mrs. Lee, I'm sorry, but this is what the doctor has prescribed for you. You're not approved for solids yet.
Mother narrows her eyes and draws her lips tight. Jimmy lowers his eyes, preparing for the storm to come.
Then you tell the doctor that I won't eat this, and so I will eat what I want.
Mother shoves the tray with the packaged cold food off the portable table.
Very well, Mrs. Lee. We will see what we can do, but I must insist no alcohol. The combination of alcohol and pain medications can be deadly. Do you understand me?
As she speaks, the nurse snatches the bottle up, pours the contents into the sink, and cuts her eyes sharply at Jimmy. She returns to the table and grabs the sandwich and the sandwich bag and drops them into the trash can.
Here are your medications for the next 4 hours. I don't suppose a few sips of beer will affect you that much. Are you staying the night, young man?
Yes, ma'am. I'm home from college for the summer, so I drew the night shift.
Well, let's not have any more keg parties up in here, all right?
The nurse slams down the light switch and pulls the door tight, leaving Mother and Jimmy in the ambient light again. There is a pause.
Where's the other one?
What other what?
You said you got 2 beers.
Mom, you heard the nurse.
I don't care. Open it.
No, Mom, I won't.
I'm going to die anyway. What does it matter?
You don't know that, and I'm sure not going to be the one to kill you. Yet.
I'm going to sleep.
Mother tries to turn on her side away from Jimmy, but a sharp pain limits her motion and she groans and drops back to center.
And it was a rocket ship. Your brothers liked the choo-choo. But no, you had to be different. It was always something different with you.
Mother's breathing is ragged and irregular, but after 10 seconds or so, it becomes soft and smooth, and she snores lightly. Jimmy reaches over to her cheek and wipes a tear away with a deli napkin. Jimmy then reaches behind the recliner and grabs the Heineken. He takes out the Swiss Army knife and pops the cap. He lifts the bottle to Mother.
Here's to you, Mom.
Jimmy drinks deeply. The end. And thank you all very much. Thank you to all of our actors who came and read our new plays this evening. And if you have any questions or comments for any of our playwrights, please leave it in the comment section here on YouTube, and hopefully they'll get back to you and answer any questions that you might have. I would like to remind everybody that our Samuel Beckett radio play series is going on right now. We did Embers last night, which is up on our YouTube channel. We did All That Fall last week, which is still up there. And then next Thursday night, live at 6 o'clock, we will have Words and Music. So please tune in for that. And thank you for tuning in tonight to our local Playwright Stage Reading Series. We will have another segment in November, and I wish to God right now I could remember what day that was, but I don't. It's November 6th. Thank you, Ben. Yes. At 6 p.m. we will have 2 more plays that we will be having stage readings of on that night as well. So thank you for tuning in, and have a great Friday night. Thank you.